Everybody, hope you guys been good. Welcome to the final, yes, I said it, the final edition of The Right Track. For all of you guys who have supported, who have watched the videos, I want to say a big shout out and thank you to all of you. I got to give a quick shout out to Jahi because he's been getting on me for never shouting him out in the video. So Jahi, last episode you got your shout out. Thank you to my brother who's been editing the videos. All right, so we got a nice message for you guys today, and I think it's going to be very applicable. And I title it, How to Position Yourself Better in Order to Get a Job. And so one of the things that you have to understand is when you're looking for a job, you have to think of yourself as a business, right? Think of your own person, me, Vaughn. I'm a business in and of myself. And whenever I'm trying to do something, whenever I'm going on a job interview, whenever I'm in a classroom, whenever I'm doing something or I'm trying to get something done or I'm trying to convey a message to somebody, I'm in essence trying to make a sale, all right? And so when you understand that you're trying to make a sale, you have to understand the mind of your customer or who you're trying to sell something to. And so the concept that I'm drawing from today is called broadcasting versus diagnosis. And I got this idea from a man named Bill Stinnett and in his book called Think Like Your Customer. And I really think that is applicable because in our society today, what everybody's struggling with, or one of the things people are struggling with, is how to find a job. And so I want to give you guys a strategy that hopefully will push you to the top of the job market. All right, so now broadcasting versus diagnosis. First, you have to understand what broadcasting is. Broadcasting means to basically tell somebody about yourself. So if you're in an interview and you're telling the person about all the accolades that you've accomplished and you have this degree behind your name and you've worked in the past for such and such, or you've come up with this idea in the past, or you've made this amount of money in the past. That's all well and good, but all you're doing is telling them about yourself, and you have not really addressed the fact that they have a problem that they need to be fulfilled. And you get paid to solve some sort of problem that somebody has. So watch this. Instead of broadcasting, Bill Stinnett says that you should begin to do diagnosis. So now think of a doctor. When a doctor comes into a room, he doesn't tell you about the fact that he has a degree. He doesn't tell you about the fact that he's done this operation many times before. No, the first thing that he comes in and does is he asks you, where are you ailing, or where do you have a problem? And once you tell him, not only does he check for that problem, but he begins to check for other problems that you may not have even thought of, all right? And so what I want you to begin to do is when you're going on a job interview, maybe instead of just talking about yourself, research the company that you plan on getting a job at. And talk to the person who's doing the hiring about where you see something can be done a little bit differently to help the company out, right? And now you begin to set yourself apart from the rest of the competition who just walked in the interview talking about themselves. But now watch how this sets you up though, okay? When the doctor comes in and diagnoses your ailments, he all of a sudden writes down a prescription, right? And notice, most people don't even ask what the prescription is, right? They just automatically assume that the doctor knows what he's doing, and they take the prescription, take it to the pharmacy, get whatever it is that they need to do, and start working on the regimen that he set out for them. So it's the same thing. After you've spoken to your employer and told them, all right, I noticed that this can be done, this needs to be done better, I noticed that you have this problem, and now you show them, I can fix your problems, or I can solve that problem for you by doing this, by smiling more than the other person on the job, by being able to come in earlier than the other people who are on the interview are able to come in so that you can help out. When you start beginning to not just broadcast who you are, but now talk about yourself within the context of the problem that the person is seeking to solve, then you make yourself a lot more valuable to that person. And so maybe you're on the basketball team at your school, and maybe you're trying to sell yourself, and maybe there's some people that have a little bit more skill than you, but maybe you can get to practice before anybody else, and maybe you can leave before anybody else, after everybody else, and maybe you can hustle just a little bit harder, although you don't have the natural skill, right? Maybe you don't know all the music in the world, but you know that you're very good at one particular kind of music. Maybe you're very good in jazz music, and so somebody's looking to fulfill a position in their band, and maybe they've looked at other people who have a lot of accolades behind their name, but you know how to do this one thing in particular, and you can show them this particular need, and you can show them how you would meet that need, right? Maybe there's an employer who they're looking, because notice this, right? If an employer can solve a problem without having to pay you, they will. So you have to show them that you are the answer to their problem. So don't just go into interviews anymore, all right, and just talk about yourself, but talk about yourself within the context of the problem that they're trying to solve, all right? So a couple of strategies for how you can do this. One, ask questions rather than give information. So ask your employer questions. Ask your employer or ask whoever it is that you're trying to sell yourself to. Ask them what it is that they need. What are they looking for, all right? And just know this, that there's somebody else out there who you may not think that you have to do all of that, and you might think that that's too time consuming, but there's somebody else out there that's gonna be willing to get inside, that's gonna be willing to get dirty a little bit, you know, and really focus on these things. And they're gonna set themselves apart. So you gotta give yourself as much of an advantage as you can, because you're not just competing with people in your city anymore. You're not just competing with people in your country. Now we're competing against people all over the world. So how are you gonna set yourself apart? And look, I know it hurts sometimes, but you might as well keep on going, because we got next and we got the victory. It's been a pleasure speaking with you guys week after week. This is your boy, Coach Vaughn. You are on the right track, and if you're not on it, you better get on it. Peace.